everyone, welcome back to With Emma. Today is a solo segment and we're going to be touching on discipline. Discipline is very dear to my heart. I am like an advocate for discipline, but I know it can be really hard and everyone has waves. One of my favorite Bible scriptures is actually about discipline and it's by my favorite book, as I always say, Proverbs, and it's Proverbs 12 verse 1. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. Yeah? You're stupid. No, but it's such a good verse because it just really proves the importance of discipline and how much it can help and build your life. I've seen such a great benefit in being disciplined in my physical and in my spiritual life. So we're going to do a little deep dive into discipline and we're going to talk about the physicality of it as well. We're not just going to talk about your spiritual discipline, because I am always the advocate of when you're disciplined with the Lord and you lean on him with your spiritual discipline, it just falls upon your physical and it really does help. So yeah, let's get into it. Gonna follow with my points and we'll just do a big debrief on why I believe it's so important and why it in the Bible it mentions discipline so many times, because it's going to help you in any department of your life. Discipline will help you and grow you. I think the first question we need to ask is, are you disciplined? Ask yourself. Go in the mirror, go ask yourself, are you disciplined? Do you find discipline easy or do you find it hard? I think with discipline, something that really helps me is understanding that motivation is an emotion, whereas discipline is a logical characteristic and just fact. It's something that you need to build within yourself. If you do struggle with discipline, I think you're thinking about the emotional side too much of it. But with discipline, it's knowing the logical benefit from being disciplined. What is it going to become? And that's what you need to move past, and that will actually help you with being more disciplined. You can't have emotion with it. You've got to be strict, hardcore, grit, strong, because when you are, you'll reap the benefits. Like, there's so many rewards. As much as we can be spiritual as Christians, there's a lot of physical things we have to do to help build our relationship with Christ. For example, attending church. I'm a huge advocate for attending church. I know it's hard. You have to have the right church because there are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, and you want to be around people who have the same understanding as you in regards to Christ. But there's physical things that you have to do, even like setting time aside to read your Bible. At night time in my little calendar, I have a time, and in the morning, which I spend time with Jesus. And, you know, it really does help me. And that's discipline. That's helped me with my spiritual life so much. Even touching on fasting, that's a physical thing that you have to implement in your life to help you grow spiritually. When you fast, the first act is physical. It's a physical act, but whilst you're fasting, it becomes spiritual. I know when I fast, sometimes I'm at a point where I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. But my spiritual strength and discipline is what pushes me through. Of course, it's not me picking up food and eating it, but my spiritual strength is what will get me through, and it's a spiritual discipline. It's grit. It's something that you learn to have. But these are all physical things and physical discipline acts that you have to do to help grow with Christ. So it's both. It's spiritual and physical, but I would say they're as important as each other and they both complement each other. When you're doing one, you're naturally going to do the other one. Discipline will bring you to heights in your spiritual journey that you wouldn't even be able to fathom. I remember when I first come to Christ, like I really had a deep dive. I attended church and it was a miracle service, so it was just like a lot of prayer, and it was the start of the fast, and I fasted for a month, and that really excelled me and really opened my spiritual eyes. One of my prayer points when I was fasting as well was to just feed my discernment. But that fast literally excelled my discernment, my spiritual intelligence, my relationship with Christ, my falling from the world. It just done so much. And that is all the foundation of discipline. Do you understand? There's many things in your life, even physical things like going to the gym. If you do not have discipline, you will never follow through. As I said, motivation. Yeah, it's nice to look at some motivational videos. I love it. It gives me a thrive. But You can't rely on motivation. If I relied on motivation as a woman with as much emotion as I have, I would not get anything done. Trust me, I wouldn't. I truly wouldn't. I think being disciplined as well is actually showing your loyalty towards the Lord. When you're disciplined with reading the Bible, prayer, fasting, getting to know God, attending church, even like speaking of the gospel and sharing the gospel, it's discipline, and it really shows your loyalty. It shows that you're willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice is such a big thing that we speak of as Christians, and the Lord knows that in the Bible it always mentions about sacrifice and the benefits that sacrifice actually brings to you. But discipline is one of them. There's a huge correlation, and it's more so like sacrifice doesn't seem that bad when you're disciplined, because you know the outcomes that you're going to gain from it. So even with the physical benefits of discipline, there's so many things that you have to do to grow closer to God. It's a really weird one, but even like with the gym, I'm like a huge gym advocate, absolutely love it. And I fell off a bit last year, not going to lie, but that was due to lack of discipline. But being disciplined with the gym has just helped me with so many things. I think the two things that I've been disciplined in my life that has leaked onto my whole life is food, the Lord, and the gym. It's just a foundation, and it helps. Waking up in the morning, like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., who wants to really wake up that early? I do, because it's nice and peaceful when I can just be alone with God. But waking up early, being disciplined in reading the word, prayer, going to the gym, eating clean, it's all discipline, and it all gives you it is a foundation. It truly does help. But the biggest foundation, of course, is being disciplined with the Lord. Also, being disciplined is extremely attractive in any department of your life. When I see, and it's trustworthy. Someone who is disciplined is trustworthy. I'm telling you that, because they trust themselves. If you are disciplined, I trust you. Obviously, not to the extent, but I have more trust than if I met someone who doesn't have discipline and doesn't take accountability. I don't trust you, because you don't even trust yourself. You don't care about yourself, and clearly your life isn't that important, or your relationship with God isn't that important. So how could I view you as important in that sense? It's so attractive, and it's so good to have. It just molds everything in your life, and it's hard, don't get me wrong. Like, it's taken me many years to really be disciplined and just think with logic. And even there's times that I don't want to do something, but I just do it because I view it from the logical standpoint. But once you get to that point where you reap the rewards, it's priceless. And there's always something you can go back to. There's always a comparison of when you're not disciplined and when you are, and you will see the benefits. My mindset is quite different, especially it can be quite cold, but that's towards myself and to others sometimes, but it can be quite harsh. And I have the mindset of everything is your fault. Don't care what it is. Please, I don't want to hear about exceptions and all of this stuff. I'm talking about your day-to-day life. Everything is your fault. If something has gone wrong, you could have done something better. You could have done something better. You could have navigated something better. Having that mindset gives you so much accountability, and you understand that you need discipline to make sure your life is correct. If you always blame others, it's a lack of accountability, and you will never understand the severity of discipline. I'm gonna do a full video about this mindset that I've created, because it's like a superpower. It is. It really is a superpower, but it's so important, because having that, putting everything on yourself, even though sometimes it can be quite heavy, but there's things that I would never do now, because I know if anything happens, it is my fault, and that comes down to discipline. I think another thing I want to touch on is routine. Routine is very important, and that is discipline. There's probably many of you that actually have a really good routine and a disciplined routine, but the only thing you're missing is having discipline with the Lord. And trust me, when you have discipline with the Lord, it makes everything easier. So much easier, so much more blissful. Starting the day with spending time with God because you are disciplined, there's nothing better than that. I have a lot more peace. I can see the difference of when I don't spend time with God in the morning and when I do. I'm very more chill, I'm calm, I'm nicer, I'm more understanding, and I speak to him more in the day. When I don't, because it happens. There'll be days where I won't wake up early and I'll do it, and I can see the severity of when I do not follow through with my routine, even attending the gym. When I don't go to the gym, fitness is a spiritual thing. Like, I will always say this, yes, it's physical, you look great and all that stuff, like, in due time, and it's health, there's so much health benefits, but it's a spiritual thing and it's an emotional thing. When I'm training, I'm naturally very emotional, of course, because I'm a woman, but I suffer with anger, well, I used to, very bad, and I actually started going to the gym, like, training like an absolute nutcase because of my anger, and it really started to help me and suppress those emotions. And then adding that with leaning on the Lord it's just like it's a natural high, it's just a natural drug. But all of that comes from being disciplined, and it's just so important. Exactly what Proverbs 12 verse 1 says: you love knowledge. If you are disciplined, you love knowledge. It's just a fact. I'm even going to touch on reading and learning. Just because you've left school or uni doesn't mean you shouldn't educate yourself. Education comes with discipline. All the knowledge I learn on a day-to-day basis is due to discipline, being disciplined. Always be a learner, always be willing to learn. Set time aside a day to just learn. Teach yourself something new. Teach yourself about discipline. Just do it, because the knowledge I've gained wasn't from school. It was through discipline that I've had throughout my life. So important. My favorite verse ever. Honestly, I love it. Another point I want to touch on is learn to say no. No is a full sentence. You do not need an excuse. Learn to say no. If someone is trying to interrupt your routine or lead you astray, no, that is discipline. Saying no is discipline. Being a people pleaser isn't discipline. Knowing what you should serve and what you shouldn't is discipline. Saying no to a cake is discipline. There's so much things that you should be saying no to, and practice saying no, please. Homework, whatever it is, learn to say no. No, you do not need to give an explanation. Your life and your routine and your relationship with the Lord is enough. Does that make any sense? So I'm praying it does. Not being a people pleaser is discipline, because you are not leaning and allowing people to mold what you think or what you do. Discipline is saying no. Hey, can you do this for me? No, I have a routine. I need to go spend time with God. No, please, can we go to the club? Can we go eat? No, I have discipline. I have stuff I need to do. Does that make any sense? I'm praying it does. I'm going to follow with another Bible verse. It's Job 5 verse 17. Blessed is the one whom God corrects, so do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. I actually want to touch on the discipline the Lord provides us with, especially in the Bible. Discipline can be harsh love. It really can. Even like with my father, like certain disciplines I was taught, it's harsh love, but it's good. You need harsh love, and especially in the Old Testament, God provides us with a lot of harsh love and discipline, but it's all for our own benefit. The same way as you should view yourself. You have to be harsh with yourself. It's not because you're being mean or you don't love yourself. It's because you love and respect yourself. It's so important. So what I want you to take away from this video is be disciplined with God. That's the foundation. Everything will follow. Put time aside. Going to church, as I will always say, I don't care how repetitive I sound. Church on a Sunday is discipline. It's great, but you need to implement it every single day of your life. Your church doesn't have to be a building. It can be a number of 3 people. Create a Bible study if you can. That's discipline. It's so important, and it's really going to help you on your spiritual journey. Thank you so much for watching. I pray that you have received something from this video and it's planted a seed. I swear, discipline is one of the best things I've been instilled with. And I actually pray to the Lord that he just strengthens my discipline daily. It's something you can pray for and ask God to nurture, because yeah, it's so beneficial. But please do follow us on our social media. It's with Emma, the show, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.